You're listening to JM Partners Atlanta Market Eavesdrop, a quick real estate update from Jerry Metcalf Partners, real estate agents on the ground in Atlanta, talking about what it's like, what to expect, the pros, the cons, and what to consider to align yourself and your loved ones for the best opportunities. Hey everybody, I feel like we're not live, but we are. We're good?
Yeah.
I didn't check. I want to make sure we're on the right view. There we are. We're good. 3 things to know with Eavesdrop, Atlanta Home Market Eavesdrop with JM Partners today. It's me, Jerry Metcalf, and Adam Vickers, The Rock. I don't know if you saw your last social media post. Adam, did you see that?
I did see it. Wasn't the most flattering photo, but I'll take it.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good message. Whether it's getting the kids to school, getting the showings done, getting the deals done, or being on the JM Partners 3 things to know, he gets it done.
Let's do it.
So everybody's asking us, when's this bubble? Is this a bubble? Which we kind of know now. The market's going up, but is it a bubble and when will it burst? And how do we know? What do we watch for? Well, we're going to talk about 3 things today and 3 more things next week that go more in depth about what to watch. We're going to keep it kind of basic and simple this week. So there's a lot of talk out there about, oh, it's just interest rates. Interest rates are everything. Well, yes, interest rates is one thing. I want Adam to share us a story, but I'm going to run through them and then you're going to tell us. But number 1, interest rates. Number 2, prices. And number 3, jobs. And I will pause and give a side comment. In the market, we all know it's all supply and demand. Supply and demand, supply and demand. It's a hot market because supply is low and demand is high. How long is that going to last? And how do you know when that's going to turn? 3 things to focus that we're going to talk about this week that are more basic and easy to watch are, again, interest rates, prices, and jobs. Adam, you had some great points about interest rates, but yeah, it's interest rates, but it's not always, that's not everything. Give us some of that.
It's not always interest rates. And actually, not one client that I've had, the reason they're moving is because of interest rates. It's like the interest rates is a bonus, being in the 2%, low 3%, because I know they've gone up just a little bit, but that's just a bonus, but that is not the driving factor for any of my clients. And I'm willing to bet any of your clients or anyone else on our team's clients, it's not the interest rates driving their decision to move at this time.
And talking on that, what is driving their decision to move? We talked about that a little bit before when we were narrowing down our 3 things that came up with 20. I mean, what are driving your clients to move?
Space and being pent up in their house, the fear of missing out on a good house in the market, of being stuck in their current house if there's another pandemic or if the thing continues to keep going. That's really driving. They're
driving what they're buying as well, what the demand is actually for.
Their needs are changing what they were a year and a half ago versus what they are today. The way they used their house then and the way they use it now have changed. Everything's shifted. And so they're trying to make that fit now. Well,
and then we've also got, I'm looking here at all of our notes before COVID. It's amazing how all those movies about pandemics in the past, who knew that it would drive a real estate market this way to get people are making decisions and things repent up from COVID. Mm-hmm. Interest rates also, we talked a lot about, they are going to go up, they're going up, but that brings us into some of the other topics we're going to talk about next week, is what's driving those and how fast they'll go up. They create a sense of urgency, but I think the harder drivers are people know what they want now more than ever. And interest rates are a motivator. So the interest rates also lead into affordability, which also leads us into number 2, prices. So prices of homes in Atlanta, the statistics on that are prices, the average sales price is consistently for the past probably 6 months has come up over and over. What's that, Adam?
Since August.
Yeah, since August. Thank you. They're up 25% same time of year, a year ago by the month. So again, this month, average sales price in Atlanta at large is 25% more than it was this time last year, which is insane. It's insane demand and insane growth. So in that, if a market's going to burst, it's when those prices hit a point that people aren't going to pay anymore. Demand is gone. Did you want to talk about, and I have a segue, but did you want to add anything to that first, Adam, about prices and houses?
Well, no, I think what I would kind of lead into is going to be what you're going to mention too in your segue, yeah. But you're right. It's the prices do continue to rise, but it's not because, I mean, the demand's there and the demand's not really going anywhere. It's very market specific, but in our market in Atlanta, the demand is just not going anywhere. And there are several factors to that. And I know that's where you're kind of going to segue into. I just have a feeling.
Right. You opened the door right up for me. So a couple of things about prices is people always say, well, prices are they too inflated yet? There's two things to look at in that. One's, again, we're going to talk more on affordability and what that is next year and get the numbers on affordability is what's the average income and what's the average price. Does the average income actually account for the average sales price in Atlanta? It pretty much always has, and it is now. But another thing, just honing in on prices, is that we all look back at the we call it the Great Recession, or when the subprime mortgage rate crisis. And I remember living in a house and thinking, my mortgage is twice what it would be if I were just renting this home. In this current market, house prices as high as they are, and notice how this correlates, by the way, back to interest rates. But even if interest rates went up, what you rent for a house right now far exceeds what in Atlanta, everyone, we're speaking in Atlanta, the nation's pretty much this way too, but we're going to talk about the trajectory of Atlanta. But the rent for a home exceeds what your mortgage is going to be over and over and over again, which, by the way, drives more and more demand and is going to keep pushing prices up. The last thing is jobs. Interest rates, prices, and jobs. So at the end of the day, what is it really? We listened to something the other day and it was about, it's interest rates. The only thing that drives the market is interest rates, interest rates, interest rates. And we were like, yeah, but what really drives it? People, actions, work, economy. Where does that all come from? Our jobs, what we're doing, what we're contributing. So, Adam, do you have anything to share on that before I continue with my rant?
Yeah, I mean, as the past few years and even so much into this year, corporate headquarters are flocking to Atlanta. They're getting out of the more expensive areas of New York, Boston. They're coming out of California, and they're moving offices here to Atlanta. One, lots of great universities, lots of great diversity in the universities from Georgia Tech, Emory, and a bunch of other schools that are based right here in Atlanta. And tax breaks, proximity to the busiest airport in the world. There's so many different things that are driving it. And we've seen Microsoft coming here. We've seen Google coming here. We've seen then all the other corporations that are here, Delta and Coke and everybody else. So if one industry starts going down, there's other ones to continue to pick it up. And it's still just going to continue to bring more and more people to Atlanta, which is going to drive demand on the housing market, which is going to continue prices to continue to rise. So
exactly.
It's a perfect.
Right. So just to sum up what you just said, Adam, you nailed it, is jobs are in Atlanta. Jobs are coming to Atlanta. There's a demand for diversity. I think we've got more historically Black colleges and universities in Atlanta than anywhere. Y'all can correct me if I'm off on that one, but I know that's driving more and more industries into Atlanta. We're getting more technology. We talked on an episode with Greg, my husband, a few weeks ago about Microsoft, the jobs and the office space they're leasing, the purchase of Prairie Park by Microsoft, 60 acres, the Atlantic Station. We've got Facebook, also in Atlantic Station. Google, that's about 100 square feet. Google just leased up about 500,000 square feet in Midtown. So that's bringing thousands of jobs to our market. By the way, our headquarters, we have our headquarters. JM Partners headquarters is here too, by the way. No, but what we really meant was that the headquarters of Delta. So Delta's not done so well recently, well, anyway, but even when that's not doing well, the airport's still there. And we've got the headquarters of Home Depot, these are just a few, of Rubbermaid, the headquarters of Coca-Cola, the headquarters of UPS, the headquarters of Genuine Parts, the headquarters of Georgia Pacific, and many, many more, all very different industries that are in, like, if there's not a job in this sector, there are jobs in another sector. So they're driving jobs and more jobs right now. We've also got the tax incentives here. So at the end of the day, because of the jobs are driven in here, that's driving affordability, which is driving prices up, and they're still affordable at those prices. And interest rates are going to go up, but they don't go up without employment going up. Again, I'm sneaking in on some fun stuff to think about next week we're going to share. Hence, how do you know when the market's going to turn? Interest rates, yes, they will affect it. Prices will too. But what's really driving it, and what do you watch? Jobs. And in Atlanta, the jobs are here. They're growing here, and people are coming here. So whether you're buying or selling, this is a unique time in which in Atlanta, both are a good thing to do.
That's right.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Everybody, we are officially a podcast. 3 things to know. That's the number 3 things to know podcast, and 3 things to know .jmpartners.io. It's Adam Vickers, Jerry Metcalf. We are missing Bridget Posey and Chad Corretas, despite that it's the week of Easter. They are out there churning and doing deals and showing properties.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Adam. See y'all soon.
Thank you for listening to the JM Partners Atlanta Market Eavesdrop. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and share with your friends who might be moving or who just want to keep up with the latest on the Atlanta residential market. You can find us anytime online at jmpartners.io. That's jmpartners.io.